With every new Pokemon generation, we are introduced to a vibrant new region. Regions like Johto, Kalos, Unova, and Alola all take cultural inspiration from real-world locations. A Pokemon region is so significant because it tends to influence the landmarks, the culture, gimmicks, even the Pokemon that inhabit that region. Today, we're going to look towards the future, towards Generation 10, and try to predict where this new region could be based on in the real world. Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. Today we're joined by a creator and Fakemon artist who has a ton of experience reviewing Pokemon regions. My name is DustyGogoat. I'm also with the LumiosePost, SoulSilverArt, and today's special guest, Infamous Trainer. All right, Infamous, thank you for being here with us today. What are you generally expecting when it comes to Generation 10? Right?
I am expecting nothing. No.
Because there's so many variables, right?
Obviously, we're gonna have like a pretty hardcore like tie back to like Gen 1, right? So all our Gen 1ers are gonna get their love. Maybe they'll finally finish and like give like regional forms, conversion forms to all the remaining Pokemon that haven't been touched from Kanto.
Yeah.
I could see that being that
Dugong.
might be. They needs it.
Mega Nidoking.
Yeah.
I think expanding on either like expanding on like things that we love or creating something different as far as like whether it's like EXP stuff or just like quality of life changes that a lot of people have been wanting.
Yeah.
And then maybe just like either giving us all the gimmicks in one, which sounds ridiculous, but if they want to go crazy, they could. Or just making a fun gimmick in general that still keeps it balanced, which I don't know how that works, but that'll be interesting.
No, I'm totally with you. I think with so many variables, I think a lot of fans look towards, or they look towards whatever the Pokemon region could be based on for solutions, and this is partially true. I do think Pokemon, the Pokemon Company and Game Freak, I do think they pay attention to the inspirations within the region that inspires the Pokemon region that we end up with, right? Like France directly inspires Kalos. But I don't think that's always the full picture. But what we're going to do today is take a look at a bunch of possible regions that this Generation 10 game could be based on. Who wants to start first?
Well, we do have, because the thing is, like, there's a lot on here that, like, there's some kind of quote-unquote hint.
Okay.
You know, this being like,
so you got some
we know
hints.
Game Freak hints at things, right? Like the strange souvenir in X and Y was a hint at Alola.
Yeah.
So like one thing is that some people think that it could be, just gonna read the first one on the list, is the Netherlands, because the Pokemon Company did a collaboration with the Van Gogh Museum. There's also a painting in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl that seems to heavily resemble like Starry Night or like that Van Gogh style of painting. And then also Masuda, likely for the Van Gogh Museum thing, was caught flying to the Netherlands.
I think I saw that picture actually.
Dude, that's nuts. It's like a smoking
He was traveling
gun.
all around.
Wherever he goes,
was traveling
dude,
all around there.
We gotta watch out.
But the thing is, he's not Game Freak anymore. He's the Pokemon Company now.
Yeah, but I still think he has creative control over a lot of things, or at least influence over a lot of things.
He's still in the Pokemon Company.
So. Oh yeah, and you know he's got to still go to his old stomping grounds from time to time.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So this is interesting because I really don't know too much about the Netherlands, just like straight up.
Same.
What are some inspirations
So
that
the Netherlands,
could carry over
that's
into
where
a region?
Peter Pan lives and Captain Hook.
Okay.
The Neverland.
That's where he's at.
Windmills and tulips. That's like a big, like heavy theme of it.
And
like
this is
people always
beautiful.
say you would need a windmill Pokemon if you do a Netherlands region. You could also do
Belgium.
something with art, because like again Van Gogh was coming from here, so like a Smeargle regional form
or like
comes to mind.
Yeah, like a sentient picture frame, right? Maybe it's ghost, maybe it's fairy type. I could see that. I do love the imagery of these like beautiful tulip fields. It does remind me a little bit of, I mean, it is European, so this would make sense, but it reminds me of Kalos. It reminds me of Galar. with these like sweeping sceneries. I could see this coming straight out of a Pokemon game for sure. Yeah, these are what the cities look like. Pushback
it's a
though.
Bit small though. It's a
yeah,
bit small.
It's a bit small, and to me again, I think we've had plenty of industrial. I don't know. These like little European towns. This doesn't excite me. I feel like we need to switch it up.
Yeah.
This is really not. This is really wouldn't be my first pick.
Need a change of pace. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the small year. Like this gives me like Kalos vibes, and I
Yeah,
love
but we're going
that.
to Kalos right now. So I think if Gen 10's
No, we're
coming,
just going to Lumio City. I don't get.
We're going to Kalos. If Gen 10's
You
coming on
want
the
talk
heels,
industrial? That's Lumio City. We're not seeing the small European towns.
dude, this just looks like Boston. Like, let's go to Boston. Well, here,
Bro.
let's pivot here. So
I
this is my
kinda
pick.
does, though.
This is my pick, right? My pick is New England.
Oh,
I think.
God.
No. Here, let me pull up some pictures.
Never gonna happen.
I don't
But-
think so. All right, no. But you say never gonna happen, but it's literally it neighbors New York, which is Unova. So my whole thing is, if we ever get a New England region, make Unova post game, make some references to Unova. I think also just linguistically, New England, you could call this place Neo Galar, right? It's basically it kind of imitates, like historically in the Pokemon universe, it'll kind of imitate the actual relationship between New England and old England, old England, right? And I love the idea of actually this could be a cool way to like revitalize or bring back the Dynamax mechanic, right? Because sports is such a big theme in New England, right? We have the New England Patriots, we have the Boston Celtics, right? Up in Maine, they celebrate hockey, right? Because Maine is it really does kind of tie into or it kind of bleeds into Canada culture. So you have hockey there as well. Did I say this? I said the Boston Red Sox right there. And you also have again that direct rivalry with the New England. The New York Yankees. So I could see this. I could see sports, in the Pokemon universe. That's just like Pokemon battles, right? Being such a huge thing. And I also think New England is like just gorgeous. Like when it comes to
It definitely is.
the
Don't get me wrong.
seasonal, like again, talk about seasons, right? That would be a core function to this game. I don't, if it happens, all of our seasons are just so unique and colorful, absolutely beautiful. I do have if you guys want to interject, and I'm going to pull up a list of ideas for Pokemon that I have that I've just written out. I live in New England, so I think about this stuff all the time. I don't know, Infamous.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
my interjection
Infamous, jump in at any
would
point.
be forget New England. Give me the Southeast United States.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. That would be cool. Here, what do we got here? Oh, come on, we need a raccoon Pokemon. Why does that not exist? Zigzagoon
Let's
doesn't
just
count.
be anywhere though.
Nah,
That could be
it
literally
doesn't.
anywhere.
That could be a couple different areas. Raccoon Pokemon. I'm kind of curious. Let me see.
And
Where
then
do raccoons live? Everywhere.
I think we need a regional form for a Dreadnought. Make it grass water type. It's covered in moss. There's also something in
Based on what though?
snapping
turtle.
turtle.
Like, how does that tie into New England? Is what I'm asking.
If we want to get real, so this is one that I think is really cool. It's called what the heck is it called? Radon. It's like a chemical gas that seeps from the granite in New England,
Okay,
right?
sorry.
New Hampshire is called the Granite State, and it literally just like will get trapped in people's homes and it can kill you.
That's not good.
That's a real thing. And when I bought my house, we had to have a radon inspector come. And we have like piping or whatever to like capture and like release the radon. It just like it happens in all houses. Because there's
You should be in charge of the tourism industry down there.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know about it my whole they My parents knew about it. They were like, oh yeah, that's just what happens. So I think there should be a ghost type Pokemon related to radon. I also think, if you want to get real stereotypical,
That's usually what they do.
we got Maple Leafs. right? We got lobsters in Maine.
There you go. Those
Right.
that's
We got
that's what you need.
we got a sports themed Tyrogue regional that evolves into a baseball player or a basketball player or a footballer. We can get real
that
silly with
that
it.
actually works so well.
Yeah, dude. New England, that's 100% my pick. I think New England could be so
I
great.
really liked the Dynamax idea for sure, because that would be a way to bring it back.
Yeah,
in a
right.
fun way.
And you could think of it in a different way. I want to do.
Is that going to happen in Gen 10? I don't know.
Listen, yeah, maybe not in Gen 10, but
This is for
a wish
fun
list.
speculation. Yeah, wish list. There you go.
Like, look, we got these beautiful. I mean, honestly, a lot of the sceneries that we see in Unova, I think, would just kind of carry out into this New England region. Truthfully,
Yeah, be a good mix.
For
sure.
Yeah, Infamous. You got any ideas?
So if I had to go with like my number one pick, like my absolute number one pick for Gen 10 region, I'll be honest, I don't know if this is out there. You guys can let me know. I think Greece is 100%.
Oh, yes.
That would be really
Greece
cool.
is it for me. I feel like the landscape is nice. There's a lot of beautiful areas and water scenery in the towns. Like I think it'd be really cool to like really go. Yeah, just look how
This is
vibrant
gorgeous, dude.
Mhm.
That looks so good.
This is like
Topless.
We all heard it here first.
Look, this is what I recommend. I can see that being like one of the bigger cities in the game. And I think that if they wanted to,
Santorini, right?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have ruins, so you can play
That's
back to like
cool.
more rustic areas and towns and things like that. I think if you wanted to pull like Dynamax back in, you could use like the Colosseums, right?
Oh, that's so true.
Well, that works too, because Melmetal's Pokedex entry, like its Gmax talks about, because it's a Cyclops, and its Gmax like kind of implies that it was actually first spotted in another region, which like that's a good tie there,
Dude,
right?
that'd be insane.
I'm gonna say the main reason though is there's a little image or a little painting in your house in Scarlet and Violet that is like, oh, this is a painting from another region, and it looks like Greece or Southern Italy, or like a very Mediterranean vibe.
I know what you're talking about. I remember that picture.
Yeah, so I'm like, I think this could happen.
I'm very open for it.
Just you type in Gen 10 picture Scarlet and Violet, because that's probably what they'll put it up as.
I think
such clickbait. It's probably gonna be our video.
Yeah.
I can find it for you, but if
right here.
saying something.
Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yeah,
that's the one,
dude.
See,
I think it's
that's
beautiful.
the way to go.
This is gorgeous. And here's the thing. Pokemon games need to have too much water. I want to go back to a region that feels like Hoenn, like Alola. I wish we could have surfed from island to island. That would have been so cool. That would have Mantine. Because honestly, Alola kind of feels like it's like, what do they call it? Like it's open segment or whatever. It's like Legends Arceus, where it's like there's 4 islands and that's it. Right? I want to travel in between. I want to dive. What are the mysteries that I'm exploring? Right? Can I find a Lugia at the bottom of the sea? I don't know. And this feels like that. It's like you go from island to island, port to port. I love this.
And to me, I feel like this obviously gives a lot of like speculation to a lot of Pokemon you can get here, right? Let's knock out some of the big ones in my opinion. Give us a legendary trio. Zeus, Poseidon, Hades. Knock that bad boy out. That's already set in stone. That'd be sick.
Oh, yeah.
Do a Griffin Pokemon. Do like a Medusa Pokemon. Right? Have fun with those typings, by the way. I think it's much needed.
Yeah.
Do a Minotaur Pokemon. That would be sick. Or a Centaur or something like that.
Yeah.
You can call back to like Spartans, or maybe you do like a regional form. I've seen this one a lot too. A regional like Machop form is more of a Spartan.
Yes.
You can do some really
maybe like it's made of
stuff.
stone. I could see that.
Yeah, or like
the
if
statues.
you want to play like a Hercules Pokemon, there's just so many cool things you could do. Make that the pseudo, right? Make it the pseudo. Maybe make the pseudo not a dragon, because that would be really cool. Go back to like the Metagross type Pokemon.
Yeah,
I think we're long overdue.
That's cool.
So I think they're really cool. That would definitely be my top pick, and it leads to a lot of different Pokemon. A lot of people love like Greek mythology and things like that. It's easy to like for people to digest. So it'd be great.
I was thinking if they did Greece, I'd want them to like not only like of course the beauty of Greece, but also like give us some of the areas that are in Greek mythology. You know, like give us the labyrinth. Give us, like
they would.
I don't know. There's tons of other ones, but like like the different islands from the Odyssey. You know, stuff like that.
You see,
that would be
Dusty, you see these pictures though? Like the same purple flowers are in the painting.
Are they?
If you go,
I think
not
those are red. Right click it and view image in another tab and you can.
I'm fixated on this picture. I'm like, this is the hint, man. This is the hint.
Might be it.
Let's see.
It is.
I think it's possible, and for me, it's just like it's Greece, it's Italy. Oh, we're gonna watch this guy's video.
I didn't mean to.
It's Greece, it's Italy, or it's like somewhere in South America. Like,
I don't know if this is the one.
Of those.
Is it?
Yeah, that's right. You got close enough there.
Was that it?
You were not the one.
This isn't the one.
That's it.
That's the one. That's it.
But those
are red, not purple.
Yeah, these are red.
Red. You're right.
I think this looks so different. I think this is probably like, what did we say? Like,
I mean, even
I think so. The building architecture that does match up, right? With the white buildings, that does add up. But I don't know. To me, this doesn't really say Greece necessarily.
It almost
I think
looks Moroccan to me.
Yeah, it does. It does a lot.
Is that on our list? Can we segue to that?
I put Egypt because it could be somewhere else in Africa, but because there's a lot of Egyptian, especially in Scarlet and Violet, there's a lot of Egyptian Pokemon, right? Like Espathra. Dusty, you've got the shirt on right now.
Oh yeah, let's just get a little zoom in on that.
Things like Rabska,
so
what's it called? A scarab,
It's very similar to Greece in the way that there's so much mythology around both of these places that they could make Pokemon there's just like a Australia, ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, ancient
it's where
Rome.
are the wonders of the world?
Like,
that's where we gotta go.
Yeah, there's so much potential for these areas, and don't get me wrong, Paldea was great and everything, but I want to go back. I want to explore some ruins. I think it'd be really cool to just touch different areas with different types of environments, and it's just there's a lot. And I know Greece and it's Egypt are some of the most fan favorite created regions. And it's obviously there's a reason for that too, right?
It's rich, man. It's rich with with inspiration. There's tons of Pokemon that can be created from that stuff. What's funny is Game Freak would probably be I don't know, because Paldea, man, I was waiting for some specific Spanish Pokemon, and they did do some, obviously, but
I
not
want my Barcelos rooster.
Yeah, the rooster. There's tons of dragons.
What's
in
the thing
Spanish
that people
mythology.
thought? Yeah, what was the thing
dragons.
that people thought the
Sushi.
Dunsparce would be based off of, or Dunsparce's evolution would be based off of? It was that serpent dragon. You know what I'm talking about? So
there's
I don't remember its name.
30. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. I think that was Japanese though. Still, I don't know. There's 30 dragons in their lore, and we got sushi dragons instead. So it's just
which I'm not upset about.
The Quillebre is what it is.
Yeah,
because it's a giant winged serpent, which is literally Dunsparce.
Crazy. What else is on our list, Lumi?
Well then I also do have Soul. I thought this would be a good one for you to tackle. People say, I don't know what it is, but you will because you're an expert on this stuff. People say that there's some pretty decent evidence for Italy.
Yeah, I mean, really, that painting is the biggest thing as well, because that could still be considered that.
Okay, so that painting could be considered 3 different countries.
Yeah. It could be any of those. There was maybe some other.
Oh, wasn't there tomatoes and basil or something growing in the garden on the school grounds? I remember people saying something about that.
Do you remember this, Infamous? I don't think I remember this one.
Oh, I did not pay attention to the vegetation. Unfortunately,
Hybrid didn't tell you that?
you know how it is.
He would.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is too. They have people because everyone wants to be the first person to find the Gen 10 hint, right? So everybody's pointing at everything in Scarlet and Violet. They're like, this blade of grass is shaped differently. It's shaped like Texas. Texas is the Gen 10 region.
Yeah. I think the only things are that. Iono says a specific amount of languages, and one of them is the Italian. She says ciao. Masuda's into saying ciao for a million times he says ciao.
Doesn't Gary?
But yeah,
say that?
everything she says, I think too, is already a region except for Chow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like so all the other languages like bonjour, that's obviously Kalos, but then Chow, that region, that country that word's coming from, Italy, is not represented.
And I mean, I think it's a little less like interesting than let's say Greece because of the mythology, but they did like
you got Roman mythology, you can still do it.
Exactly. They did take a lot of mythology from Greece, so,
right.
And then there's a lot of culture obviously to it. I think it would make an amazing region. Obviously, when we come up with these ideas, we're like, which ones are close to our heart, because he's got New England and I'd love to see this. This is like my region,
Dude,
but
I want
what
a
Pokemon
pasta
will we
dog.
have to have, Soul?
A pasta Pokemon?
Oh,
yeah.
And honestly, let me get
Tangela Convergent.
dude, there's
let
so
me get
many
a-
good ones.
a regional Cyclizar that's a Vespa, bro. That's all I need.
Bro, that'd be awesome. I'm down. That'd be fun.
What would we make that? Like dragon? I think it needs to keep the dragon typing.
Dude, I want to.
Dragon.
Dragon Steel, go Dragon Fairy. I mean, have fun with it.
Dude, a
Yeah.
tortellini dragon. Think about it.
Oh, that'd be dope.
There would be a lot of food Pokemon for sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, I'm telling you, Convergent Tangela and Tangrowth based on spaghetti. It's
Based
right
on fettuccine.
Oh, it is kind of like obvious. Oh my goodness.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
some kind of pizza. I don't know how, but pizza would have to be there as well.
Pizza.
No,
Pokemon's
no,
like-
pizza's gonna be in Black 3, White 3 in the Unova game. We
Maybe.
claim that. I don't think pizza's. I'm pretty sure I heard pizza's not even Italian.
Oh
It
no,
is.
Dusty, you can't say that.
I'm being
It
serious.
is, bro.
Soul's
No,
gonna come for you, man.
it's pasta is what you're thinking of, but pizza.
Oh, is pasta not Italian?
Yeah, it is, but it didn't originate there. Like it originated in China.
Oh, that's that.
Like-
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
The more you know.
Yeah.
What like animals and stuff, Soul?
I mean, yeah, there's bears and wolves and eagles and
It's like New
like
England.
mountain goats stuff. It's very kind of similar to Kalos vibes. That's the thing. It's very European. So.
And this is kind of what I think. Like, I feel like even though Pokemon wants to spotlight a specific region in the real world to like attach their brand to, right? They basically want to say like, let's make this game around this specific part of the world. That's great. But I think within like the Pokemon within that, I do think they want to diversify that so they're not like only doing and limiting themselves to that one region. That way they could still introduce like all these fantastical things and the world of Pokemon still feels like super diverse, right? So like even though we were just in Spain and there's so many like Spanish things that they could have done, they didn't do it. Those things might end up in the the Canadian region. I have no idea.
Right. Well, yeah, they always like tie it to other stuff, right? Like there's a lot of Norse designs in the Galar region, a lot of Roman designs in the Galar region. And it's because of the influence that those had in the real world UK.
Yeah.
But to leave Europe, we do have, it was kind of accidentally spoiled by the convention center in San Francisco, that Worlds in 2026 will be held in San Francisco. So that's led to some speculation of a potential, because 2026, that's 30th year anniversary of Pokemon. A lot of people kind of have it pinned as when Gen 10 could be coming out. So, there's a thought that maybe Pacific US could be the Gen 10 region.
Pacific US.
Is that
California
kind of
specifically, but maybe.
Yeah, I guess that would be like California.
Which is interesting
Really
because like
touch on,
California,
like, Nevada, like go ahead and throw in Vegas at least, Area
that's
51.
cool.
Yeah, you would have to do Vegas for sure. Yeah, it's like Washington and Oregon, I guess. Is that up there?
If they do Vegas, can we get the game corner back?
Maybe.
dude.
I mean, that's fair. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I
Just
think
give the higher rating in Europe. I don't care.
I think to like maybe cover some ice too. Maybe throw like Alaska in there if you're gonna do it. Just go ahead and throw it in while you're on that side.
I mean, it's pretty cold up in Washington, I think.
That is true. I mean, based off what we have, our Celadon's right there. So I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, imagine
true.
like a cross Evo that's based on the what's the bridge in San Francisco?
Another one.
An evolution to our Chaludon. Its base stat total 600. What are you doing, Dusty?
No, I said a cross gen. Oh, I meant like a cross, like an evolution of Duraludon.
Oh, okay, like a split. Okay, I was about to say we're going to get like a 700 base stat total.
Hey, can we pause for a sec? My dog's just like freaking out. I think it just wants to go out for a second.
Okay, if it helps, I can't hear.
Okay, she's going crazy behind me. 1 second.
Yeah, we can't hear.
You guys can keep chatting. I'll just be right back.
But no, any kind of obvious choices for Pokemon, like animals and stuff in Pacific?
I'm not sure for like
Behem evolution? Because like if we incorporate Area 51, you gotta do some alien stuff, right?
Do some aliens. I think that's fair. Since if you wanted to, I don't think they would call out to it, but I was like, technically Disneyland was first. You could do something fun with like
true.
Disney element. That could be pretty huge, or maybe it's like a regional Pikachu that's more Mickey Mouse. I don't know.
Oh man,
He's got round ears now. Yeah,
that makes sense though.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Do something with Golden Go in Vegas.
Oh, that would be good. That would be actually like a chip Pokemon. Maybe make it like Steel Dark, because gambling.
Sure.
I would probably do that.
I don't know if they've ever like lean into it.
Yeah, because there's also like there's this stuff with Europe too. Like if they have gambling in a Pokemon game, they have to isn't it like 13 and up is the rating if it has gambling in it? That's why they got rid of the game corner.
Yeah. But that's what I mean.
How close to, you can tell that I've never left the East Coast. How close to the Pacific is the Rocky Mountains? Like, could they be in a Pacific region?
Yeah.
It could. Yeah.
I think that they run up. I don't know if they're still the Rocky Mountains, but the mountain range runs up into the Pacific Northwest, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Well, and there you go. Like, I'm thinking, like, do you incorporate, like, Yosemite and stuff in there?
That'd be a huge region, though. We're talking like real big. Like the amount that you're spanning.
That's fair. I
mean, they could do it like Unova though, where it's like a mix of it's everything. Like
PokeStar Studios has to come back.
Yes.
Hollywood 100% would. Yeah.
The champion is based on
a movie star or something.
Yeah, some kind of movie star.
Like a
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is the professor.
But then you could also make a bunch of Pokemon that are like similar to how we had like Palafin based on like Superman, right? Like, what if there's a bunch of Pokemon that are inspired by iconic, family-friendly, iconic not movie stars, but like characters, right? Yeah. That could be
like
sweet too.
Spider-Man.
First thing I thought of was
Quentin Tarantino Pokemon.
No.
maybe not that. No.
Michael Bay Pokemon. It learns explosion.
Dude, yeah, a Transformer would be crazy. There's so many cool things, and I think what's great about California, if that is the region, is that it's actually so big, right? Yeah. A lot of these like countries, like Kalos, for example, like it's great, it's iconic, but it's relatively small. California is massive. It's basically the entire west coast of the United States. So that's pretty epic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We also have some speculation. Obviously the DLC Teal Mask gave us Kitakami, right? The interesting thing is they say Kitakami is another region. They never call it the Kitakami region. They call it the land of Kitakami. So there's a theory that Kitakami is actually a part of a larger region based on Tohoku, Japan, and that would be the Gen-Tem region. And that Kitakami would be like a segment of the Gen-Tem region.
Epic.
Interesting.
Epic.
I mean, I feel like I could see it for like Gen 10 to like, hey, we're gonna go back to our roots. We're going back to, something that is more like Japanese influenced. Kind of just calling back and then giving new regional forms and things. That would be like a cool full circle moment for Pokemon.
Yeah. Especially for Generation 10, right?
Yeah, I think that could work.
And what's interesting, so I'm gonna just explain this for viewers, right? Like, I'm pretty sure Kanto is what here, kind of.
No, where Tokyo is.
I'm sorry. So Kanto's here, Johto's here, and then I think this area down here is supposed to be Hoenn, and then Sinnoh's obviously way up here. It's identical.
It's obviously
Sinnoh. It is interesting to think that like this region based on Tohoku could be it could be north of Kanto, right? And
it could also include the Senja ruins, right?
It could include the Sevi Islands, right? It could basically be like you play through this game, DLCs in Kanto, DLCs in Johto. Like that's
it definitely could not include Sevi.
Sevi's those islands you're
right here,
seeing
right?
under.
Well, not that one, but yeah, underneath.
Not that one, but like there's little tiny islands there.
Okay.
But Sinnoh.
There's still so many like cool like yokai and stuff that they haven't touched. I want to like, cause Ludicolo is based on a kappa, and those are actually like Ludicolo's fun. He's dancing, he has a good time, but kappas are actually like incredibly like dark and evil, and I would like to lean into that.
We see a little bit with Golduck. That's also a kappa. It is 100%.
Yeah, no, it is. It's supposed to be.
Like, barely, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, Golduck is depicted a little bit more mischievous.
Right. Like,
but I'm with you.
It's like saying Donphan's a tire, like, he is, but, like, I'm not looking at Donphan and going tire Pokemon, I'm saying it's an elephant.
But I think calling back, I think something like a Psyduck or a Golduck specifically, let's say we go back to like a Japan-inspired region, I think that could be its time where like, hey, we're going to give it water psychic, water dark, whatever its typing is to like represent it better. And
or give it that evolution.
Give it the evolution, and that does fulfill them going back in the checklist like, hey, this is a Pokemon we haven't touched yet and like done something with in Gen 1, so let's do it now.
Dude.
So it could be its time.
I cannot believe. Can we talk about that for a moment? I cannot believe that they have not touched Psyduck. Like,
I never will understand it.
That's like up there with like in terms of iconic, like Pikachu, Eevee, Meowth, and nope.
Well, they never did anything with Clefairy. I don't count it.
There's still
they gave it a baby.
Yeah, but I don't count that. Yeah. That was during the hype cycle. That was during the Pokemon Fever. So I don't count.
And they also changed its type.
They did. Yeah, that's true. I'm looking for.
There's still a handful of Kanto Pokemon that can still get some stuff, and they're all ripe for it. Let's say
for sure.
For sure.
No, but
it's definitely due.
I think going back to Japan is really exciting, mostly for the implications of also just including these almost like reimagining these older regions through either DLC or like I do think we're due for. I think if we're going to be getting if Gen 10 is going to be on a new Switch console, a new Nintendo console, like we are due. As soon as we get a new console, we are due for a new Kanto game. Like that's happening.
It's almost guaranteed.
Technically true, yeah.
So even though like I'm old enough now where I've lived through too many of these Kanto cycles, like it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, but this would be like the best Japanese region that we've ever got, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, Legends Arceus.
Look up some pictures of Tohoku, Dusty, so like we can kind of see what the vibes would be.
Yeah, because we haven't had like a Japanese region that's like all like this, and I mean they'd be building off of their mistakes in Scarlet and Violet as well. Yeah. But it's the craziest Japanese region that we'd have.
Oh man, yeah, that's really pretty.
That is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a lot like New England, truthfully.
You see right there, that's oh my gosh.
I'm kidding, but
I think is that the Crystal Pool or what the Crystal Pool was based off of? That
where
crater right there?
This?
No, it's not.
Oh, this?
Over? No, not that.
It's kind of cool.
Oh,
it looks cool though.
You'll see like the bridge.
You're right. Yeah. There's the same bridge is there because it's like a World Heritage Site or something, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It's so scenic.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like
so
a countryside.
nice.
Well, and see, look, like that's the thing too, right? Game Freaks even said this. They said the reason that they did Dynamax, was because they wanted something that just showed the leap on the Switch console, like going from 3DS to Switch. They want something that emphasized that.
Wow.
So I feel like with the graphical updates that are rumored to be on the Switch too, I feel like they'd want to do a region that encapsulates that. So do another just gorgeous region, just like the jump to 3D. They wanted to do France and focus on beauty. Like do something like that again. And Tohoku, I mean, it's so scenic. I feel like it'd be perfect for it.
I think that would even push them more to make sure the game is super optimized. Like straight up, I do not like Let's Go in any shape, way, or form. I give it.
Explain it. Explain yourself.
I hate these games. Okay.
Amen.
I am not a fan, but I will give credit where credit's due. They made sure that game looked gorgeous and played smoothly.
Yeah.
So I feel like with it possibly touching back to like Japanese roots, and then if it has any Kanto anything in it that's going to praise that region, they're going to make sure they show out, which I'm really hoping for, because it was a bit of a like downfall to like play Scarlet and Violet. I didn't have as much issues, but I know a lot of people were like falling through the map, and like imagine it's even more open world, more beautiful. If it's something like this, your game might crash upon opening it. That's what I'd be scared of.
Hopefully not on Switch too.
I'd hope.
But the rumors are that it's like somewhere between PS4 and PS5 in terms of capability.
I would lean. I'd lean closer to PS4.
I would probably lean closer to that. I think this was a little bit weird because I know a lot of people bring like console power and then graphics into it, because you do have games like Xenoblade, which I haven't played, but the game is gorgeous and it don't be lagging. And then obviously like Scarlet and Violet, where if it rains, like everything's moving at like 0.2 frames, and it's a bad time. So I really hope that they, I guess, optimize it is more of the thing, especially if you're going to create a beautiful region. Let me see the beautiful region.
Yes.
That would be the big thing for me. If it's going to be Japan, make sure it's gorgeous. I want to have it to where like I'm running and the leaves are like cherry blossoms are like flowing through the wind. Like I want all of that without it lagging per frame, just sliding across.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
I can see it being like that for multiple reasons. Like hopefully the console's good and it can run that kind of stuff. But also if they go back to Japan, that's like their home. You know what I mean? Like that's like their region. That's what they know. More than anything. So they could make it beautiful. Like there's games like Ghost of Tsushima and a bunch of other Japanese kind of vibe games that have been happening, and obviously those games come from Japanese people that know the stuff there. And I think that it would be more like that vibe, at least.
So I am currently playing it, and that game is stunning. Yeah. I mean,
it looks
I'm not expecting this.
It is. Oh my goodness. And like I think that's actually a great representation, because when you play that game, at least the feel that I get, I feel like I'm really immersed in the world. I mean, all these vibrant colors, you got all these, you have wind blowing, and like it's just so much. And I think one key thing, if they decide to go back, make the towns lively, like, you know, have people you can interact with. That's going to be key, especially like to build up the culture. You can expand more, like, again, like you guys were saying, Johto things, Kanto things, Sinnoh things, and that lore. Like, there's just so much you can do if they bring the roots right back around.
Like, this is gorgeous.
This is like the 30th anniversary too. So it's like, you know, go big or go home.
And that's something to keep in mind as well, right? Like the last time there was a big anniversary they really celebrated with a new gen was the 20th with Sun and Moon, and it was such a love letter to Gen 1, right? Like you had the regional variants, and it was at the time only Gen 1 Pokemon. You had tons of characters, not just from Gen 1, but appearing in the games. Like you have Grimsley showing up, and Cynthia and Wally, and Red and Blue were aged up now, you know. So I feel like there's going to be more of that, and it just, I feel like doing a Japan region just makes that more doable, I guess.
Yeah. They've also definitely heard the fan feedback. And if it comes out in 2026, they are giving themselves a little more time to make it. So I think it'll end up being good. But I'm keeping my hopes, like, you know, around.
I think something I've realized, like, especially now that I've been like doing content and stuff, is Pokemon, as much as like I would just keep my expectations low. Just leave as much like room for them to impress me, right? I mean, obviously I have hopes. There's things I would love to see, But I think it's always just like safer to be like, just keep them low and just hopefully let Pokemon cook. And like they really show out. That would be great. But
I think what makes me continue to enjoy this franchise is it's the monsters. It's the world building that they create, right? It's not always the games. I experience the games or the world through the games, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I understand their limitations, right? Like whatever's in my head, whatever I say on this podcast into this mic is going to be like my preferred experience, but at the end of the day, it's it's my game that is where I'm playing it, where I'm playing this game.
Yeah.
So to move out of where there is, give us a little break from speculated regions. Okay. There is like no speculation for this, or like no hints for this that are obvious to me. But a fan favorite pick has always been Australia.
Yeah.
Give us our platypus.
So many animals that you can go from.
Oh yeah.
That's why, really.
There's a good bit of like lore mythology there too.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, like it's not like Greece or Egypt where like we immediately go like, oh, Australia, that's such a mythological region, but it actually, I mean, it's got a fair bit of stuff. Trying to get, obviously, I think we need a new kangaroo. I like Kangaskhan, but I want a more slender, boxy type kangaroo.
We're well overdue, 100%.
Right.
Kangaroo Pokemon. I was gonna say like a Tasmanian Devil Pokemon. I think that's like a dark type.
Absolutely.
Another spider is like a for sure. If that, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if like it's like this could be the time to do like a bug type legendary if you want to just go outside the box, right?
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty interesting.
You sold me with that. Now I need the region. That's it. I need a bug type legendary.
I think we should do it. I feel like it's like a type that bug luckily lately has had more love, but if you really want to show appreciation for it, I think that would be like a high mark appreciation for the Pokemon. And then maybe they could probably do something with ice because ice needs it too.
Yeah.
Look
at this. This is a concept region. I didn't even see. I didn't even realize this was here. This is pretty cool. I think the vibe, like what I'm gathering from all this like fan art, is that like it's really just comes down to a vibe, right? It's like what is like when you look at a picture of Alola, you know where you are, right? When you look at a picture of Kalos, you know where you are, right? Maybe not every region is like that, but like if the main characters, or if really just the environment that you're playing with these Pokemon, no matter what they are, like the Pokemon don't need to be inspired by Australian animals, but like if there's a, what is this called? Like the terrain, if the terrain is like deserty, savanna, like whatever this is called, the ranch, what do they call it for the Australian?
The outback.
Yeah, if you're in the outback,
he's like,
if you're in the outback, I was trying to think of the word. Yeah, like
Hidden Valley.
the Hidden Valley Ranch. We need a Texas region. I think this is so cool. This is so cool. This is iconic.
I mean, I'm definitely picking the little black and red starter.
Click your DMs,
cool. Dusty. Did you send me something?
Your DMs. Yeah.
No kangaroos
on Twitter?
Grass
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Oh, don't tell me.
Those are some starter Pokemon I got designed for it, but like.
Oh, so cool, dude.
Like, and what I like is what they represent. So, like, the water starter is a water buffalo, and the grass starter is an ostrich. Because I didn't know this, but those are invasive in Australia. Like, they're African animals, but they actually live in Australia now. And so there's a lot of like instances of that. Like, there's a lot of invasive Pokemon in Australia. There's something called, you can Google it. It's called the rainbow serpent. That is like such an obvious legendary Pokemon. It's like it's from like Australian mythology.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah,
but
I mean,
this was
like
this was the third legendary we were waiting for in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah,
this is Snake Terapagos.
He's like a stellar type for sure.
Right, this dude, no way. That's so cool. Yeah, for listeners, we're looking at a rainbow-colored snake. It's beautiful.
And I think that's Deadpool right there. I'm not.
I know. I saw it too, and I was like,
right here.
It's just
Is that Deadpool?
I don't think it was supposed to be, but it happened.
Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters now.
Crazy.
You going to see that, Lumi?
Oh heck yeah! I've already got my tickets.
Yeah, me
Nice.
too. Me too.
I actually can't wait. It's gonna be
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be so good.
We're hyped.
So to move back into speculation and to trigger my good friend SoulSilverArt,
what's he gonna say?
so a big one that's been speculated, but it's a controversial pick, is China.
Yes.
Oh, it's not gonna trigger me.
I'm triggered.
Okay, good.
I'd love for a China region. Are you joking me?
I know. I
Actually,
meant because you don't believe it can happen.
What was that, Infamous?
I actually had China on my list as like one
Did
that
you?
I would love to see. I think it. I mean, why
Yes.
not? It's you could do so much cool stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Environment wise, I haven't seen too much of like China's environment, so I would have to like look at some of those. But
Look it up, Dusty. Type in China. Just show us China environments.
Okay.
Even that map just looks good. And that's so simple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's. I think so. People say it can't happen because of like censorship issues. Like the Chinese government, is very like if they don't like something you said, they're banning it here. And obviously, Pokemon doesn't want their game banned to one of the largest video game markets. But one thing that like Dr. Lava in fact said it when we had him on was that, dude, Pokemon has been working with like Chinese companies so much. Unite was made with a Chinese company. Pokemon Quest, they do like exclusive things. Like Pokemon Quest has like through Gen like 5 in China, but nowhere else in the world. So you see, Game Freak like making an effort to collaborate with this market. I feel like it's one day going to culminate in a Chinese region. I really do believe that. I know a lot of people are like, nah, it'll never happen because of the censorship stuff. I think it could. I mean,
it could happen.
It would just be a region based on it, right? It's not like, they'd be saying, the Chinese Communist Party's terrible. They're not saying anything like that. They're just doing a region,
And there's obviously criticisms of every region. Like, there's historical criticisms of every region you go to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been, right? I mean, let's not get into
Portugal.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Portuguese are furious.
Oh, those poor
and rightfully
Portuguese,
so.
man.
And
So sad.
yeah. So, but that is some great evidence. But the thing that makes me hesitant to believe that we could get a China region in Gen 10, or really any generation, is that I would imagine that the Pokemon Company would want to set up Pokemon centers and bases and hold events in China, hold the worlds in China. And I don't know if they're willing to do that. I mean, and here's the thing.
There's been plenty of regions that we've had where, we've never had a Worlds in France. We've never had a Worlds in, Spain,
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
Oh yeah, that's weird that we haven't.
Yeah, we didn't get a Worlds in Japan until just last year.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
That's
well,
true.
that is huge. Then they can just pick wherever. I guess okay, that's really good. Because I just think
you could say the Ruinous Quartet's a hint to this as well.
Yeah, that is true,
Yeah.
which would be epic. I also feel like the Ruinous Quartet were named that because it's just like it's mysterious and it's a cool.
Well, no, like the things they're based off of like are actually Chinese mythology too.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I think I just feel like Pokemon, whatever region they choose, they're trying to bring that region and that culture into the fold, right? Into the brand.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I imagine it. I also have this pet theory, or this, like, I kind of feel like they pick and choose which region they want to base a Pokemon region after based on, like, how well the games sell in that region. Like, how big Pokemon is in that region.
Pokemon's huge in China.
Yeah.
Huge in China.
Yeah, but is it? Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, Chinese people that I've talked to, they a lot of times will say, like, they didn't have it for so long. Like, they never sold them. I don't know if they are selling them now. I think they are.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. And again, like I said, the Pokemon Company is making these efforts to reach out to the Chinese market with things like Quest having Gen 1 Plus, whereas the rest of the world only has Gen 1. Quest is done for the rest of the world.
They also have their own TCG right now. That's like
they have their own
pumping out
TCG. And then Unite is with one of like the biggest Chinese game companies, I guess, game developers.
Interesting.
I forget their name, but it's with them.
Dude, we
Infamous. Did you have any like Pokemon ideas for the China that you were talking about?
I mean, I think it's obviously like go with another red panda Pokemon.
Yeah.
You can do like a regional Beware if you want to like make it a little bit easier, right? Some kind of Chinese dragon specific like Pokemon.
Serpent ones, yes.
Right?
And have it be like an Axew, so it's like kind of accessible.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I think like a Phoenix one would be cool. I thought the other one that was on there was like the scaly one. I forget what they're called though.
It's like a pangolin.
Yeah, pangolin. Like that's like a for sure. Make that the pseudo. I'm like I don't. That's cool. Easy stuff.
That's really cool.
We could do. Obviously, I would get another monkey Pokemon, so I'd be like, I'd be excited.
Yeah. It's fire and fighting type, and it has these gold fists.
I actually love this animal right here, the pangolin. I love it.
It is cool.
It's so much potential. Man. So much. I've seen this one a lot, like fan design wise. Just so much you can do with it, for sure. And then it is like panda stuff, of course.
I'm just looking at a lot of these other animals, and I'm like, we have these already. Like they were brought in through other generations. That's because
I mean, Game Freak being Japanese, like they're closer to China than
so they share a lot of the animals.
Well, not the animals themselves, but the they know a lot about China because their history is intertwined, let's say. But I mean, that's why we see they have so much mythology and stuff too. So they bring it in.
Dude, and the Great Wall, how would that be worked into the plot? Like that's got to be something significant.
That would have to.
Well, see, those are the things that they have to be careful of, right?
Those are that's why this is like
that's exactly why they would get censored.
It's like so unlikely to me because of these things.
If you leave it out, then it's like, hey, wait, something's missing here clearly.
Yeah, but they left out Portugal. They left out Portugal.
Yeah, but that's part of this. It's part of this country.
Include it, but you just don't have to like do a plot around it. You know what I mean? Make the plot occur in the most boring areas. Like the plot is all on Route 1. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, for Gen 10. I cannot see it, but maybe in the future.
There's another possibility here, and every time we make a Gen 10 video, I think about this. I go, are we making a bigger deal about Generation 10 just because it's number 10?
No, but that is a big deal.
No, I think exactly. I think it's a huge deal because this is, 10 generations of Pokemon. That's
and on the 30th year anniversary.
Like, Pokemon is withstanding time. More and more people are becoming fans. More and more people are getting their loved ones into it. Like literally, my girlfriend knows more about Pokemon than she's ever known because obviously I make content on it. Yeah. But sometimes I make her watch a battle. Sometimes I'm like, I think we were out of internet for like a week trying to get like our internet fixed. I literally just made her play Sword and Shield. I was like, you got nothing else to do. You might as well play Sword and Shield.
Smart man.
It's like you're getting more and more people into it. You have the anime, you have plushies, you got like they're all over the place. So this is a huge deal.
Yeah. That's true.
I agree.
They also
it's gonna be funny if they don't take it that seriously. I guess my point was, I'm sorry, what was that, Lumi?
According to this, Pikachu is growing in popularity to the point that they believe it will one day be more iconic, more recognizable than Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like I could go up to almost any kid and be like, hey, do you know what this is?
They go,
just like a silhouette of Pikachu. Oh, yeah, Pikachu.
Yeah.
But see, all that to say, like, Game Freak's going to celebrate that, man. The 30th and the 10th generation, no shot they don't, pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
I think, and then to that point, it's like the whatever region they choose has to be significant. Right, and what is significant to the why?
Because what was significant about Hawaii? You know what I mean? Like
that is exactly my point.
I guess so. Yeah.
No,
I wish it was like that. I wish it was, but really, they're just like they're gonna pick the place and they're gonna make whatever the place is significant enough for that.
And
like
honestly,
they put all
that
that
makes
Gen
sense.
1 stuff in Hawaii.
What it would
they're
probably
gonna make you, no matter where it is, they're gonna make you go, "Who's this guy?" Oh, he was that dude from the Unova Elite Four, wasn't he?
Yeah, more like Kanto. More like Kanto.
No, that's a good point.
Grimsley!
And
Grimsley!
wherever they choose is probably actually going to be like geographically in contrast to Kanto or Johto or whatever game they decide to remake during that era, right? Because I really do think they're going to want to remake Kanto in the next 5 years. So, like, what is going to be in contrast to whatever other games?
We don't agree with him, though, so just so you know.
I can't.
Dude, it lines up. It tracks.
It does, but let me tell you something.
Dude, Kanto is on every single console.
It's, to me, I don't know if this is a fair comparison. Playing, like, another Kanto region is like playing a Dragon Ball game where I play through the Saiyan Saga every single time. That's kind of how I feel.
I'm with you.
I get it, and I think, like, again, aspects of Let's Go was good, but like I'm like the whole time I'm like, this is Kanto again, like.
But let me hold you there. What if it is a Legends Kanto?
That would be good.
Because all I want is a Kanto. I want to play in Kanto, but
why on earth do you want Kanto, Dusty? Haven't you had enough?
Listen to me. I want them to reimagine it in the 3D environment that we know. Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, right? Legends Arceus. Every time we've gone to Kanto, it's been top down, it's been a grid, and it's been the same linear, tiny region. But if we go to Kanto in Johto and it's full 3D and they can reinterpret it in a Legends style game, then it's beautiful, right?
If it is that, then yes.
But it might not be that.
It would have to be, but knowing Pokemon, they're like, we want to bring back the classic adventure you love. Here is Pokemon Red again. And I'm like, I might lose.
We're remaking Pokemon Red. Yeah. You cannot evolve your Golbat, you know?
Yeah.
Something to think about, though, is that you're saying that because Kanto needs to be playable on each console, it would be playable on the Switch 2. The Switch 2 is probably going to be like a 3DS situation where we can still play Switch games on it.
Well, and that's true, and maybe that's why they go, okay, maybe that's why they're able to give us a deviated version or a reimagined version of the Kanto experience, right? Maybe that's why, because the core version, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is like the classic Kanto experience. Now they, how many years later they can be like, here's your Legends style Kanto game or whatever it might be, right? So that could be good. And here, I just want to throw this.
That's the only way we get it.
Yeah, because if we wait
it's
too long,
it's got to be either reimagined or it's a port. Those are the two.
A port is definitely possible, and I'll take them all. But here's the thing. I got my niece Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, or it was Let's Go Pikachu, a couple years back, and she played it, and I'll never forget the day that I caught her humming the Professor Oak theme or whatever. And I'm like, this is beautiful, right?
Yo, I'm humming that on the daily.
And that's because she's playing the same like Kanto experience that I grew up with, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just to say, that's why they do it. That's why they make sure Kanto's ever present.
She's not getting the same experience. She doesn't know that you have to get your Pokemon. You have to weaken the Pokemon before you catch it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It is pretty like
dude,
these now.
Yeah, these kids these days.
Kids these days. Back in my day.
Dude, back in my day, we could gamble in Celadon City.
She's in Celadon City, and Dusty's like, "You see that building there?
Yeah.
That used to be greatness."
Yeah. What else? Do we have anything else on our list? Dude, a Kanto game would be so good.
Let's go through the little list here. We said Netherlands, we said Italy, we said Pacific US, Tohoku, Egypt, Australia, China. Where is the region picture in the SV Protect's house? New England. So then the question is, Infamous, you have anything else on your list?
Only one I had left, and maybe we touched like on points of this, but just like India specifically.
Yeah,
It has potential, right? Some good options.
Another big market for Pokemon. Like that's a
huge
place.
And that's something that feels different than anything else we've ever seen. So I'm totally for that.
I think there could be some really, really cool, just like areas like based off like the Taj Mahal. Like you could really get into like some really cool stuff. Maybe that's what the champion is and like the Elite Four. I don't know. I think there'd be some really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing.
That's what I think.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
They've got a lot of cool mythology there too.
Oh yeah.
I feel like
For
there's
sure.
so many places in the world that I'm just ignorant of that would be
absolutely.
amazing, iconic places for a Pokemon region.
I mean, we haven't mentioned South America at all.
No.
And there
Oh,
we haven't
yeah.
mentioned
should be a
we
South
haven't mentioned
America.
Africa. Like
Yeah.
we haven't
did.
we haven't
We
mentioned
Egypt
Canada.
and Morocco.
I did mention Canada. But,
We did mention Africa.
Canada.
what did we say? Did we say
Egypt
Egypt?
and Morocco. We talked about that. Yeah.
Did I leave for that?
Oh,
No,
might have
that
forgot
was you left during San Francisco.
When did we
I
talk
don't
about
know.
Egypt? I
You
don't
might have
remember that
left
at all.
up here. We were talking about how there was Rabska and Espathra.
Oh
so
yeah,
like,
we did talk about
you may
that.
have
Okay,
hinted
yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
yeah. Sorry,
There was
I
another
did-
big
I did
region
forget
for
it.
mythology.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
It's okay. You're old, man. It
It's
happens.
it's 9:30 right now.
But,
Sleepy
yeah,
boy.
I think India. I mean, they have greenery, they have mountainscapes. Like you have areas to like really explore. And of course, you have your deserts, so you can introduce all those ground type Pokemon, stuff like that. And you have Pokemon like Caparaja that's just sitting there. That kind of, to me,
Bro.
I love it, but it does feel out of place in Galar. I'm like, I don't know. Obviously, it states that it's not from there, so it's
Yeah.
like you do feel out of place. You're clearly from somewhere else.
We all thought it was a hit,
True.
man. We thought it was a
Yeah.
hit. We were like,
Yeah.
India's the next region.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah, that and then like Kubfu, it said like, oh, it's from the mountains of another region. You know.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of potential. You could also do like another like classic tiger, snake, or monkey, peacock Pokemon. Of course, I don't think you need another elephant Pokemon after we just got two Paradox Donphans. But I guess if you wanted to do another one,
take 'em.
you could.
I'll take them.
There's so many options. They have so much cool stuff they can do. Just go all the way, Pokemon. That's all I gotta say. Go all the way. Just do
Yeah,
something
it's true
fun.
though.
Make it iconic.
Would the India region include like places like Nepal?
Probably not. They didn't include Portugal, man.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Well,
But-
I mean, but
but
they
they
did.
did, though.
It just was
Geographically, they
incredibly
included it.
diluted. Like they had Porta Mar. What is it? Marinara
They
sauce? I don't
gave
know.
them one city, man. They gave them one city, and it's like this big.
Marinara.
and-
That's it.
Yeah, I mean it's the same with Galar though too. Like Scotland is almost
Yeah.
non-existent. Wales, forget it. And
That's crazy.
Ireland is a different island, but they could have done it for the Isle of Armor. Instead, they did Isle of Man, I think. But yeah, stuff like that. I don't know. They leave it more focused on one place.
Yeah.
Historically, let's say.
And I'm
For
kind of
sure.
asking because like Mount Everest is here,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
which is pretty epic.
Well, maybe that's what they do, right? They just
They
like
might literally just pull Mount Everest over
Yep.
and be like, "Yep, there
Yeah.
you go."
right. Maybe do like the village around it. You know, that's like a very iconic like image or whatever. Like the base of Mount Everest. Is that Kathmandu? I don't think that's Kathmandu.
I don't know where it is on the map, but
It's right here.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Soul, you made a good point. I feel like we should at least touch on South America because there is a lot of really high potential there.
If they're connecting it to
the Amazon,
Paldea, yeah.
you know, like Brazil, a Brazil region would go so hard. A Mexico region would go so hard. You can't go wrong in South America, honestly. Peru. Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like it has to be somewhere with the Amazon.
Yeah, Brazil is a big one.
Yeah, Brazil is most of the Amazon.
We got Quaquaval. We went full circle. Like Quaquaval is like Brazilian, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, Skeledurge is Mexican, basically.
Yeah, it's got some Dia de los Muertos vibes.
Not that Mexico is part of South America.
No, it's Central America.
Yeah,
But I want to touch on that.
I just want to be politically correct.
Yeah.
That's true. We could. I mean, Alaska is U.S. Owned. It's a U.S. territory, U.S. state. Yeah. But that's
we mentioned it. I don't know if it's when you left, but Infamous
it
mentioned that would
alone.
be good to include with the U.S. Pacific.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good
like
idea. Yeah.
Alaska, there's not a lot of like cities and stuff there. Like a lot of Alaska is kind of just vacant. You know what I mean? So I don't know that it could ever be its own region.
No, but like in Unova when you take the plane to what is it called?
Nature preserve.
Yeah, the nature preserve. Like that's like a completely different area, which is also a really cool feature that they were like, just get on a plane, you can go anywhere you want. Like we'll bring you to this one spot, you can't go anywhere you want.
Well, that's
but the one
like
spot you're going could be anywhere in the region.
May or may not be Blueberry Academy. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so true.
That's kind of the teal mask, you know. Like it just it was like here we're dropping you in the middle of this land you've never been before. So they could always do something like that. Like, you know, the DLC is Alaska.
Dude, that is so cool, dude. That is so cool. Because like for all of Pokemon's history, we've always imagined a region and the DLC and whatever else is attached to it needs to be all interconnected. But it's true. Whatever Gen 10 game we get, it could still be connected to Japan in some way.
Yeah,
or,
I mean,
look.
All I'm saying is this gen in the same game, not even the gen, but this game, Scarlet and Violet, we went to Spain, we went to kind of Portugal, we went to Japan, and we went to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true, man.
And now we're going to France.
Speaking of that, Infamous.
Good segue.
Are you excited for PLZA? We also have some brand new merch.
We do have new merch.
And
we still have our original merch.
Yeah,
we have all kinds of merch.
We do have all the original merch, but yeah, we got this new collection. It's called Hidden Legacy. It's a great designed, created by a supporter and a friend of the show, Noivi. He created these designs. Or this specific design in all these different colorways, and it features a bunch of different Pokemon and designs and concepts, references from the show. Close out the summer. To me, the main idea here was like summer nights, like in August, right? Just like breezy, I don't know, coastal summer vibes, man. This is so cool.
Take it in.
I can smell it, dude. It's like the sun is the sky is pink, right? It's like 8 p.m. You're like at the beach and you're like a little sun kissed and like tired from the day, and you're just enjoying life, listening to your favorite podcast on a walk with your loved one. That's kind of the whole vibe and the inspiration for this. So we got a bunch of colors on the website. Links will be in the description. Lumi, do we have a list up?
We do. So we want to shout out our supporters, all of you, but we want to give a special shout out to our mythical tier supporters, Indiana Jenkins, Ryan, Candace Wendy's, Case, Sully the Skeleton, Coronet Highlander, and Pokey Kid. We want to give an extra special shout out to our Arceus tier supporters, Young Smokey and Hayes, and a Gigantamax size shout out to our Game Freak Inc. level supporters, and that is Drogain and Brimtastic. Thank you all so much.
Thank you guys so much for all the support. If you want to support, you can buy merch. You can become a paid supporter of the show via Patreon or YouTube channel members. We've got a ton of perks, including bonus content, hours and hours of bonus content, access to our private Discord. All right, that was really good. Infamous.
Good segue.
Yeah, are you excited for PLZA?
Yeah, I would say so.
What is the groan? What is the groan?
So look, but like I don't know what to expect, and like Kalos was fine for me. I know this was kind of like a peak hype Pokemon season. Like everyone was super excited about the Pokemon coming out. I know the anime was beyond hype at this time with X, Y, and Z animations on Shonen level. So like I wasn't in that hype series, so maybe we get that hype series again or some fragment of it. You said
that in the Patreon episode, yeah.
Yeah, it's that's what I'm kind of like hoping for, but I mean I am pretty excited about Megas, which funny enough though is my least favorite gimmick. Just because for the fact that I feel like they already gave great Pokemon Megas, like bro, that's cool and all. And don't get me wrong, I love a Mega Lucario. But you gotta give some of these Pokemon that needed these boosts, man. Like it's just like you got Pokemon Dugong, it's just sitting there, bro. I don't even like Dugong, but I feel bad for them.
Dude, for real. I don't either.
So
Mega Dugong would be cool though.
It would be. I will say I'm excited about the prospect of the game. I know everyone's throwing out all the crazy stuff when it comes to starters. I've imagined you guys have talked about it too. Whether it's just going to be Kalos starters, is it going to be, like a Legends Arceus thing where we're pulling 3 different random ones? I was in the field of give me 3 random and just give those Kalos starters Mega Evolutions in the wild so I can have my regional starter. Then I go out and get, let's just be honest, I probably would take either Snivy, Scorbunny, because I don't like Piplup that much. Yeah. And then I would just go out and get my Mega Greninja, and then I'm set. Like, the whole game experience is just there for me.
No, I'm with you. But just to ease your mind and your heart, I don't think the Poketubers are right. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think the starters are going to be the 3 most French starters, because then it's like, what are they going to evolve into? Even more French starters?
It does. It depends. Yes. If they get megas, though, it makes sense. If they don't, if they get regional forms, it doesn't make that much sense.
Yeah.
But I like that idea, Infamous. That's the mix and match, and then the Kalos ones get megas, because that's kind of a cool callback to X and Y, where you get new starters, but then you're given the Kanto stars with their megas, and so now the Kalos starters would take the role of the Kanto starters in this game.
Yeah, and I feel like that's much needed, because I think back to my Kalos team, and I think about the Pokemon in Kalos. I was like, my team, if let's say we just get purely the Kalos starters, my team might be the same exact team I used in Pokemon Y. So I'm like, I don't want that. I think what was really huge about Legends Arceus, it was the experience was different off immediately. You're like, hey, I got to choose between Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and Oshawott. This is an experience, like, this is different.
Yeah.
And I end up choosing Oshawott. I don't even like Samurott, but it was probably the best experience to have Infernape and Hisuian Samurott together. Was one of the best pairings I ever had. They were just like brothers in arms. I evolved them at like the same time with each other. It was just like the experience was great. And I was like, I actually kind of like Hisuian Samurott. Regular Samurott kind of sucks. It's not great. But Hisuian is great, and the experience was better because I got to choose a Pokemon that I normally would never choose, and now I get to add it to my team, and I create such a different experience I would never have. I think for sure, bring me like the different starters with the form.
For real.
I was thinking when you said Piplup, I was like, but maybe if it's a regional form, maybe you would like it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, you don't.
I
know you don't like Piplup,
but that could. Yeah. Oh man, but I'm excited about it. I think it's so hard to tell right now, but
you're just like the rest of us, and you just need more.
We need more. I think we don't. It's hard. Everyone's just super hype, and I think it kind of sucks because as soon as we got it, everyone's super hype. We're reacting to it because no one expected Kalos. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone was thinking like, "Oh, we're getting Black and White next," and like we all thought it. We all thought Unova, right? They dropped Kalos. We're like, "What? Megas? What?" And then everyone just started ripping out content. Mega this, Mega that, form this, form that. Now we're just like, we've done everything, so we need something.
Oh yeah,
we
literally. We recorded an episode this morning, and there was a line I said in it. We were like reading like the 4chan leaks, right? And there was a line I said. I was like, "Look, we are literally having to read these because we can't do our own ideas anymore. We've beaten our own ideas to death now." You know.
It's crazy. Yeah, we're at that point. I mean, I don't know when we'll hear news next. I just hope that it's something solid, good. I mean, I think they have the most potential. I know a lot of people felt like Kalos could have been expanded on, should have been expanded on. Obvious Pokemon, like for some reason, not only giving Diancie of all your Gen 6 Pokemon a Mega and nothing else is weird.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping they show out. They've already retconned Ash Greninja and all the media. So clearly,
what did they retcon it to?
They've just gotten rid of it.
Yeah, it's not even in the anime anymore. So if you go back and watch Journeys, they took all the scenes out with Ash Greninja and made it regular Greninja now.
Yeah.
It is.
Dusty, you didn't know about this?
What? I don't watch
anime. They literally they were flashbacks of Ash's battle against the lawn, and literally they took one to one the image where Ash Greninja's using Cut or whatever.
Are you kidding
me? And they just replaced it with regular Greninja.
Yeah.
Oh my
never said anything about it.
And never,
what?
They never issued a statement. We're we don't really like this anymore. They just kind of were maybe everyone will forget.
No, and I guess this kind of alludes to what's to come in the future.
Gen 10 fusion gimmick.
Something, and they need something. Something has to go. But yeah,
I mean,
that's a different video. Yeah.
It could come back as a Mega and look almost the same. Could be something.
Honestly, that's what I kind of expect because I've seen a lot of images on fan art for Mega Greninja, and a lot of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
But like Ash Greninja is like really nice because it's so simplistic. It still gives you all the cores that you like from Greninja, but then just adds like that little hint of red that kind of like shows like, hey, this is Ash's and it's really iconic.
The Mega Greninjas that I like usually keep the Frubbles, which is interesting. It's still Greninja with the tongue, but yeah.
The water shuriken's so cool. You know, the one on his back, dude. I mean, come on.
Iconic.
They also, you know, it's weird too though, because they did still, you know, there's new sprite models now, and they gave one like in Pokemon Home. You can see them all.
He's still there,
and there's Ash Greninja. They made a sprite model for it. Don't know why. And then they also in Nemona's house in Scarlet and Violet, there's like a Picasso style painting of Ash Greninja.
Yeah.
People say it's Ash Greninja, but I don't know.
Dude, it is. Come on. Look up Ash Greninja painting Scarlet and Violet, Dusty.
I was recently looking at this, and I was like, is it actually Ash Greninja?
Yes, look at the red and the black.
I think the black is what specifically makes me like, okay, maybe it is. Because it has all the colors of Ash Greninja in it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's exactly what Infamous said, that red.
But there's also green in it, though.
Is there?
It might just be that picture.
I think right here.
I can't see the green.
Looks a little...
Here. Open image, a new tab.
Zoom in.
Whoa.
I mean, obviously
maybe that's a hint and it's Mega, right? Maybe they're gonna take that design and tweak it some.
I think you might be right.
I do think it's gonna be like a template for whatever Mega they're gonna do. It just kind of makes sense after it's retconned, and I don't even think Battle Bond is as good as it used to be either. So
yeah,
they've nerfed it down too.
Oh yeah, they retconned Battle Bond. Basically.
It's just like a stat boost. Yeah.
Do you think that'd be like a good thing to add to the games? I mean, obviously, no, I guess I'm just thinking, like, is there something from
it was in the games, they retconned.
No, you're right, yeah, it was, and then they got rid of it. Is there something from the anime, because I know you follow the anime, that you think should be incorporated into the games?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know
what my answer would be.
Anime...
Because I don't watch the anime. I literally have no idea what's going on.
I'm trying to think myself, but I don't even know
and
what
it looks kind of sick.
Look, Infamous, you talked about yourself being a Diamond and Pearl fan. We need anime-style contests.
Oh, okay. That would be pretty good.
Where they're battles, but they're like they're like a different...
Right, but the battles were more like focused, on like kind of just highlighting your Pokemon's performance and kind of making the other person not highlight theirs, you know?
That would add a depth. Like, imagine that it's like
a different meta.
Yeah, it'd be a different meta outside of just like, hey, maybe you don't want to be battle focused, because there is people who love contests in the anime, right? So imagine that you, instead of you making a Pokemon geared towards like VGC, you're making like one that's geared towards the anime, where it's like E-Fog, having Swift still, and like utilizing those moves, or like Flamethrower and Ice Beam, and doing some fun stuff. I think that could be actually a really cool category. That's a great one, actually. I don't usually think about contests too much, because I'm not gonna lie, I was never much of like a contest guy. So they come on,
bro. I don't.
Here you go, another contest episode.
Yeah, no, no thanks.
So I hear you. I've appreciated them more with age.
Yeah, I definitely like always was like a battle guy. I guess if I know a lot of people want to have a game where you control the Pokemon for the battle. I'm a little like 50-50 on it. I think that kind of takes away
different
from
type of game, yeah.
Yeah, it takes away that core of like what you've played in Pokemon, especially if you've played it before. You're like, this is like a completely different situation. Like, I'm at that point, you're kind of low key playing Pokken.
For sure, yeah.
So,
make another Pokken for the Switch too if you want that.
Oh god, that would be so. I'm besides that, right? I'm a pretty avid fighting game guy. I love Tekken. I love Mortal Kombat. If they do another Pokken, I might have to just change up the content for him, because I love Pokken.
I'd watch that though.
I've never played it.
Oh, dude, I highly recommend it. I don't think I played it either. It was the first game I got for my Switch. I was like, I need this game now, and it's fun. I play like from time to time. I feel like there's a lot of obvious Pokemon that were missing from the first game. I'm like, how do you have this game and no Greninja? No Infernape, I'm offended. You know, I was like a little bummed on that.
Yeah.
But they did get really creative, because you add like Chandelure, you add
Suicune,
Darkrai, Suicune,
Sceptile.
There's so many good Pokemon. They played differently, which was fun. So I think they did a great job. I need a Pokken too. Like I
Yeah.
need one ASAP.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Charizard's in it, right?
Yeah, Charizard's in there. They even include their megas too, which is
Yeah.
super
Blastoise
cool.
is in it. I don't think Venusaur's in it.
There's
No,
like
no
this
Venusaur,
like
no.
like a like Shadow Mewtwo or something in it, right?
Yeah.
Mewtwo's in there. They did talk about how Incineroar was going to be in Pokken, but they used it for the rep for Smash, so they used Decidueye instead. And I was like, I mean, it's fine. I guess not a big deal. I guess it's cool because they did break the mold from just choosing like all fighting type Pokemon, which would obviously. I'm like, where's the Hitmonlee? Where's the Hitmonchan? But that is a little obvious.
Right.
So I do like the fact they went outside the box and chose some like different Pokemon for it. I think like I would choose like
Chandelure one.
Yeah, Chandelure is just like a really
so
weird
funny.
one. Krogunk is like a little gimmicky, fun, like goofball
And that
character.
Krogunk was in there.
Krogunk kind of offends me because I like Toxicroak. I like Toxicroak, and I'm like, give me the evolution.
Oh, so they
man.
made some that were just like unevolved.
Yeah, some of them are like
like I'm seeing breaks in here.
Yeah, that one actually is like on a competitive level a really good Pokemon.
Really?
Actually, it's really good. That Pokemon, like many people don't. Oh, actually, people like breaks and they don't like Delphox. So that one was pretty solid. But then you have like your speedster types like Weavile, and I think the last
Weavile's in it too. That's sick.
Weavile's super fun. Pikachu Libre's in there, so you can switch up.
Yeah,
Pikachu,
that's
Pikachu
cool.
Libre, which was really cool. I'm like, but then it made me think like, yo, where's Hawlucha? Because Hawlucha was crazy in this game.
Oh, Lumi just got booted.
Oh well, we didn't have you for a while, so we cannot have him for a while.
Yeah, let's wait for him to.
But now I'm just like a door over here. Oh,
All right,
I am the LumiosePost.
My Discord just crashed.
Uh-oh.
Hi, I'm Zach from the Lumios. Oh man,
It'll be all good.
I was for like 10 seconds.
Let's see.
You did
Another
better.
question.
You're better me than me. I'd replace you with me.
No,
honestly.
that's not true at all. That's not true. Infamous though, you like Legends Arceus though.
I do. I enjoyed the game. I obviously being a Sinnoh fan, that obviously pushed it for me, but I enjoyed the perspective of not having to always battle the Pokemon. Like, I don't know. You've been playing. Like, we all played Pokemon games for a long time now.
Right.
It's like not every single minute of every single time you play do you want to just battle somebody. Sometimes you just want to hop in, look at your Pokemon, and maybe just close the game up.
Listen, I'm with you, but that is also a feature of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
That's true, but they make it obnoxious. Like,
Yeah.
I think
It's
the idea. I hate the fact that if I throw a Pokeball, and
it's got to be one hand.
Like it
That's
should
bad
go
too.
the direction I throw. It's not going the right way, and I think it doesn't help too. Again, I've played so many Kanto games. I played Fire Red multiple times.
I'm kind of teasing, but yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then also the what really sold it, Volo at the end,
yes,
was like that cherry on top. Where I was like, I genuinely was not expecting it. I was not. I was streaming up until about that point, and then I stopped. And I was like, I just want to play this game and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't record this. I wish I recorded my reaction because I was literally screaming in here. I was literally, I was like, "There's no shot." And then obviously you take him down, and then Giratina comes out, and I'm losing. I'm like, bro, I don't have the Pokemon for this battle.
Yeah.
When Giratina comes back and then just jerks back up, dude.
No, that was like a gamer moment where you kind of like look around. You're like, am I being pranked? Is anyone else?
That was a
this?
canon
This
event
is so
for
real.
Pokemon players.
Oh yeah. I was like,
Dude,
I
can I
finally
just
beat it. It
say-
was so difficult. Resurrect.
I picked up Legends Arceus just last week to find, I think it was last week, might have been 2 weeks ago, but to like evolve a Ursaring in it, and I'm running around and I hear the little the shiny smile. I pan my camera to see it's the Alpha Ursaring. It's shiny.
Ooh,
I was so happy about that. Oh yeah, I got it. Heck yeah, I got it. I wouldn't let
When
that
did this
get away.
happen?
This is like 2 weeks ago.
Dude, why didn't you not tell us? That's insane.
I posted it in Discord. Y'all just never
Oh
in there.
my, dude, that is legendary. Did you save the clip?
I don't know. My
You
Switch
can
is
like
right here. I'm
record the
gonna
last
see.
30 seconds. That is insane, dude. That's an epic gamer.
I
moment.
hope I did. I might have you know how like when
you
you're
just space out.
when you're in the moment, you don't even think to do it.
That's crazy, dude. Shiny Hunters were
Oh shoot,
like,
I did.
oh, that's crazy.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, we're watching it live. We're not live recording, but no.
Ring.
Here we are.
Oh, Oh, dude, that's insane. Dude, good for you, man. Shiny hunters will spend weeks looking for that.
Bring that
Completely by
back.
accident.
I think that's a feature, and I think that's what really killed it. I'm not a shiny hunter, but I will say that having that shiny noise, that alone made me want to shiny hunt in Legends Arceus. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna keep the ears open. And honestly, I get it. It's more rewarding to like actually go look for the shiny. Yeah, that's cool and all. But for people who aren't shiny hunters, I think it's cool to like have like something to notify me. Oh, this is close. I need to keep my eyes open because I'm missing something that I've been spending time looking, or even if I wasn't, just like stumble upon it. That'd be sick. Oh, man.
I think what it is no, like in Scarlet and Violet, like when you're shiny hunting, you have to pay attention to shiny hunt. Where in Arceus, you could just go on your adventure, and if there is a shiny nearby, it's like there it is. Then you get it right. You don't need to have your full attention on the hunt, which allows you to just like enjoy the game. I think that's what the difference is.
And I think like going back to Scarlet and Violet, it's overly difficult because you have time of day, which affects color of Pokemon.
Oh, dude, yeah, the colors.
And that's changing every 30 minutes.
That's changing so frequently. One Pokemon that I hate in this game, in Scarlet and Violet, I hate Capsicid. It is the most annoying Pokemon. So, God forbid, good luck to anyone who shiny hunted that thing because it's small and then in the grass it blends in. No, it's no way.
So hard.
Well, you're a Low Kicks fan. Finding a shiny Nimble's hard.
It is tough. I was actually gifted one, so thank you.
Oh, nice.
So we made it lucky for me.
Our friend Cam Tendo, he's a big Kamen Rider fan. Yeah. And I remember he was so excited, like, because, there were leaks about a Kamen Rider Pokemon, and he was so excited about it. And I was like, like, when you have a friend and something happens to them and you're so happy for them, it feels like it happened to you.
Yeah.
He found completely on accident in his playthrough a shiny Nimble. And it was, and like, as much as he loved Kamen Rider, it was like, yes, he deserved that.
That's incredible.
Pretty epic.
That is so sick.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I'm excited for Legends ZA. I am feeling fatigue at this point in the year. Like I'm like not like physically excited, but I do think this game is gonna we'll find out what it actually does, but it will I think it cements Legends as like a sub series, right?
Yeah.
So there's implications there that really get me excited.
I love that like we don't know, like we have these patterns with remakes, right? Like we assume that either Johto or Unova will get remade next, but like with the Legends game, dude, they went Sinnoh, Kalos.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the next one's going to be Galar.
We don't know what the next one is. It could be Hoenn. It could be Galar. It could be Kanto.
Yeah. It's going to be Kanto.
It could be a Legends of whatever the Gen 10 region is, honestly.
Yeah.
I think the Legends game leaves so much. It can bring you back to like those classic regions, just with that new twist and taste. So again, like we talked about earlier, if they do Kanto and Johto is like my least favorite region. If they did Johto and it's Legends, if it's gas, then I'm gonna say like this is like my favorite Johto experience. They just gotta craft it up nice, and I feel like with Legends they can really do that because they have more freedom. They can play around with different Pokemon, these more like prehistoric or these more ancient forms, or just like old time forms, or just they're really cool. Like I love Ursaluna. Like it's a really cool Pokemon.
Yeah,
and I already liked Ursaring, so you're just putting like. Another stamp on why this Pokemon is so awesome, and just continue to do that with like.
And then I get the Midnight form or the
the Blood Moon. Oh,
yeah,
see, it's great. Yeah.
Crazy.
Dude, give me a Mega Ursaluna and Legends ZA.
Yeah, dude,
that's something they would do. They would do that
for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It looks like the Blood Moon form, but like without it being kind of like damaged or war torn.
I want a Full Moon move. Like the Blood Moon got his own move with Blood Moon. Give me Full Moon. Give me that move
that
for
the
regular Saluna.
That would be really sick.
He needs his own move.
That would be sick. Is there a game that you don't like? I'm just thinking about this because you.
He said, "Let's go."
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
You were also kind of hinting towards Kalos, or Gen 6, So I was like, that's why I was trying to bring in like the Legends aspect of like, well, you like Legends.
You like Legends. Maybe you don't like Kalos.
Yeah, might not like Kalos.
I won't say that I don't like Kalos. I just think there's like a lot that I would have changed about Kalos personally. Like rivals.
Most people.
Do we have those in that game?
That's true.
Like the story was fine. I feel like I think it was definitely like the quickest and probably one of the more easier Pokemon games I played. Yeah. And I was like, oh, like this is kind of nonchalant. And then also like when you look at the starters, like it was very one-sided. It wasn't like I was a hesitation, like who am I gonna choose? I will say like with Scarlet and Violet, I was like, oh, like I actually like Quaxly, but I also like Coco a lot. Like you kind of like pull up Gen 6 Froakie. Like if you want to challenge yourself, then you choose the other two, right? But aside from that, I was like, this is just kind of it. As far as like a game that I don't like, it would be Let's Go.
You almost said Johto. You were like, and then this would be my favorite Johto experience. And I'm like, what do you mean by that?
I'm not a fan of Johto.
Okay,
it's overrated.
It hurts my soul.
There it is. All right, thank you for watching, everyone.
I just maybe it's because of when I played it. So if you go on my
channel, what Johto were you talking about?
So Heart Gold, Soul Silver, that era.
So the better one.
Right, which is known as the better one, correct? Right. So I played it. It's the full playthroughs on the channel, right? Because I was like, you know what? Let me share this experience with people. This is like in the time that I shouldn't have done it, but I did like a kind of a classic playthrough. I think I streamed the last couple like sections of the Johto story, and I was like, this is just kind of mid. I didn't know what like. I didn't like you. I'm eating in it like halfway through.
Bro, your team is crap.
My team is obviously pretty good. I think I enjoyed the Pokemon on the team. That really helped like cement some love for Dragonite. But like in itself, like the levels are skewed. I was like, so you get to a point. I think it was like, isn't like what's his name? It's like Jasmine, Chuck, and Bryce.
Yeah. There's 3 gyms you can battle out of order, and they are all the same level.
Them. I was like, what is this? Team Rocky being back? Sure, I guess.
Don't you think this engine is beautiful though? Like, look at this scenery.
It's classic. Obviously, I love like this engine. It's classic.
It's cleaner than the Sinnoh games. Just saying.
It is. I will say like it does have like that spruced up, that really clean feel. But I was just like, this is cool and all. By the time that I got to the end, I'll tell you this. By the time that I got to the end, and it's like, hey, cool. You know, you've unlocked the Kanto area. I was like, for what? That was my genuine response.
Because you didn't want to play Kanto again.
Though, I'm like, dude, but though I will like give credit where credit's due. I think the champs have actually kind of swung me a bit on like Johto. Because I thought the Johto Pokedex was really bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was. So I will give.
It really comes down to access. There's not a lot of access to those. I just played. Smith Plays Pokemon just did the Crystal Legacy, and that was incredible to be able to use some Johto Pokemon that have always been there, but earlier in the game, right? And that really enhanced my experience. Obviously, that's not the base experience. So the way I look at this, I'm starting to realize that I think Johto is there's a spectrum of Pokemon game experiences, and there's a spectrum of players. And I think Johto's on one side, and then maybe a game like Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet, where there's a lot of like, where it's like a living game, right? And the best version of that game is like whatever your save file is today, right? After 3 years of playing it and collecting and whatever. That's the spectrum. And I feel like Johto rewards players who just want to like feel like they're living in the Pokemon universe, right? Yeah. There's no emphasis on competition. All the emphasis is on like daily tasks and like cozy play, right? You you play an hour, you shut it down, you turn it on the next day, and then you go collect your apricot balls or apricorn balls, right? You collect those, right? You go. There's like day of the week events, right? There's like, I don't know. That's
no, you're right.
That's the experience of Johto that I love.
Yeah. I think I do have I tell people I will still slander Johto. Don't ever get that.
Dude,
wrong.
it's all right. Dude. I actually respect you for it. But
I will say like there's some parts of it that's good, but especially maybe because I wasn't in that exact era. I know a lot of people started with like Johto, and I think if people were to go back to like when like silver and gold drop. I could imagine, especially after you've just played red or green, you're like, yo, I'm starting this new adventure. Wait, the whole extra game is I get to go back and go even crazier.
Literally.
I can see it. But to me, now that obviously I'm playing this when I'm obviously way older, I'm like, cancel again.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you get to like the last episode of my playthrough, I literally like got there and I never played it. I never touched it again after the last episode. I think that's it. Yeah, I never touched. I beat the Elite Four. We got to Kanto. I said, "Yeah, miss me. I'm not doing this." I was like, "This isn't it."
And
but, you hit it just right, because it's like, for me, obviously, I got pushed back a little bit because Johto's my like top, but that's because I grew up with it. It's like literally it's not. I say this all the time. I love Gold and Silver because pure nostalgia. I love it because of nostalgia. Like, this is like the
images of the sprites is like what's burned in my brain.
That especially, but it's like it's the classic Pokemon experience. Does that make sense? Like, that is what Pokemon is to me. Like, because when Pokemon came out, that's what it was. Like, I was there, I was around,
and there was no internet, right? There was no internet. It's like I wanted a big, vast region, right? Look at like on the screen right now. In your playthrough, you're discovering Suicune. Like, that was like. I'm under my cover with my Game Boy, with my Game Boy Color, and I get the little wire light, and I'm like at my aunt's house, and I'm supposed to be asleep, and Raikou appears on my screen, and I'm like freaking out and shaking, and I can't tell anyone online. There's no Twitter, so like I'm living with that memory, right? Like for the whole week, I'm like I'm on my adventure for real. So it's not. This isn't a good or bad thing. I definitely sound like a
at the same time though. I gotta say, at the same time, Ultra Sun and Moon is probably my favorite Pokemon game.
Oh,
like for Pokemon wise, like that's how it is. But Johto,
I'm
I'll always be like, Johto's the classic for me, because you get Kanto too, and it's just what it is.
I think that's a lot of it is. You're obviously going to be swayed a bit, of course, by like whatever your first Pokemon game was. Obviously, my first one was Fire Red, but I love Pearl because that's what I grew up playing, right? I got that DS. I remember I named my my Infernape just the dumbest name. I named him Fire Flame. That's literally what his name was. Just two acronyms on fire.
I love it.
And this man was carrying the team on his back. I think he's like level 60. The next person up is like Star Raptor, like 47.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
And everyone else is just being like strung along. I remember just,
level 80 Blaziken at one point.
Like you're just like, and then you're like, you the struggle to be like weeping. I think I was gonna fight Crash or Wake. I can't beat this man because like the rest of the team is trash. Obviously, in front of you can't handle it all.
I need a better strategy.
Yeah, you're like sacrifice. You get one hit in. You get one hit in. And Freddie, finish this, please.
Yeah.
So like those moments like are really really cool. And I know like a lot of people don't like Sword and Shield, but I've come to really enjoy that game itself. Maybe because I was in the era of this is when my channel was created, so it holds that memory of I was growing on this channel around this time. I was
that's
streaming
real.
the game. Like it's more than just like, oh, these trees suck and the game's a straight path. I'm like, that's sure. Is the story great? Probably not.
No,
but
that's just like reaction. That's just reactions on.
To me,
Twitter.
It's like
Zacian turning.
Yeah, like is it perfect? No, but then I think for me versus like some others, like my height of where Pokemon should be is not super high. I like the games. I want them to be good, but I'm also not like we talked about earlier. I'm not expecting like AAA game quality.
Yeah.
Like things are perfectly turning, spinning around, or Persona level RPG. I'm just playing the game because I love Pokemon. I love this series. I love to see these new creatures.
You get it, man.
The characters. That's what I'm here for, right? Of course, there's gonna be nuances, man. But
I think every Pokemon game has something special about it, right? You can complain about the trees in Sword and Shield, but are you paying attention to the beautiful scenic routes? Are you paying attention to the art style of the characters? Are you paying attention to the
best Pokemon designs?
Yeah. Or Pokemon,
some of my
even
favorites,
Pokemon
man.
Camp, dude. Pokemon Camp does a lot of things similar to I feel like it's a similar thing for me as the following animations are in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where it's like you get to see your whole team just like interacting. They have that in Legends Arceus as well. I think that's a great feature.
Yeah, you could throw them all out at once.
And they're interacting with each other. Like you can only see that if you capture the Pokemon.
Yeah, and I think stuff like that's where like originally I did not like Sun and Moon. Like I was not a fan. I was like, this intro's too long. Yeah. But it's funny because as soon as I say Sun and Moon, I just remember that intro music that kind of starts when like you start on the first route.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you're there for so long. It's been like I'm like I still hear it in my head. And then as I've played it more, I'm like, these games are enjoyable. I think there's like a really cool sense of culture with like Alola. They really push that like, you know, that culture, I don't know. I loved it. Now that I've gone back and I've replayed the games, like these games are actually better than I anticipated.
Yeah.
The one but I think Johto will not be one I redo because I can't do it again.
Jeez.
But
dude, try Crystal Legacy.
I think I've heard of it from you. Said it was who was it again?
Smith Plays Pokemon. He's doing like
I think I heard of him. I swear I watched a couple of his videos.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you on Discord.
Okay.
It's super fun. It basically is like you start the game and in the first route you can actually you can get a Houndour early instead of at the very end of the game, which makes sense. Like why would you not get that early on? Right?
I think that was it too. Like when I was playing Heart Gold, I was like, "There's me. Yeah. I got my Cyndaquil. I'm gonna pick up a Sentret. I don't want a Sentret. I mean, Lanoon's fine, I guess. But I was like, I don't want a Sentret.
I'm with you, man. I never trained a Sentret.
But it's hard pass. But I think
you're missing out.
Or it's adorable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it gets tidy up now.
It does get tidy up now. I did see that because Kieran was. I was like kind of playing around in the
DLC. You do know the competitive.
Yeah, it's a little bit. So funny enough. During that time when like the DLC came out, I was like, I'm gonna use like a weak team for like Kieran, right? I kind of want to build up like almost like this anime level story in my head with like as I play. I try to kind of do that with like the games because like obviously I watch the anime a lot. I'm like, I don't need to take Pokemon this seriously. I'm here to have fun.
Yeah.
So I came in with like a super weak team. I think I boxed my starter. I forgot who. I think I just took low kicks and that's it. I was like, low kicks, that's it. Everyone else on the team is new up until we start switching out partners.
20 push-ups, all of you. Let's go.
Was super fun. Went in there and I was like, oh, he's got a line. I was like, let him go crazy with Lanoon or whatever. And then he did tidy up like 3 times. And I was like, oh, this is bad. And he just started taking out Noctowl, Piloswine.
I don't even know what it does. I'm like,
bro,
it's Dragon Dance, but it also removes hazards from your field.
It's great. That's why one reason I like Mousehold. People hate Mousehold. But it is a fun Pokemon.
Who hates Mousehold? Just
a lot of people do not like it.
I love Mousehold.
I like how annoying it can be because obviously if you do like normal Terra, Mousehold, and then population bomb with the roll of dice, whatever item, or not, it's the what item is it?
Loaded dice.
Loaded dice with it's like the lens one too, right? I forget what it's called. But either way, to make sure that move hits 10 times, it is pretty annoying because you just watch people's health just go down. They're so upset. But
well, like doubles do it on our Chaladon because our Chaladon's gonna resist it, and you can get its stamina up to 6. You know.
Yeah. So some really cool stuff there. But I think Pokemon. I think a lot of people also need to realize it's just Pokemon. It ain't that deep. Just play, have a good time. I don't know. A lot of people get super strung up like behind like the competitive, and this doesn't make sense to this, and this Pokemon is too humanoid. I'm like, bro, it's just Pokemon. Play it or don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always been just simple for me. So
I just need to quote you on all this as well because
he's writing
like every time. No, every time like a new game comes out, like we get that same like complaining vibes here and there, and I say it so many times. I'm like, I just love Pokemon, you know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm here for. I'm just here to have a good time. So I totally agree with you. Totally.
I tell people you don't have to like every Pokemon. You don't have to love every design. You don't have to love every character.
That's half the fun.
This is philosophy for life.
Find what you like and enjoy it, man. Like
life's too short.
Exactly. It's way too short. And it's Pokemon. We're not playing competitive Call of Duty. We're saying League of Legends playing for $10 million. You know, this is Pokemon. We're catching creatures, dude. Like,
I don't know if you guys saw today. I posted it, but they officially let esports become an Olympic sport today. They voted for esports to become an Olympic sport.
Whoa.
So I was like, competitive Pokemon?
Dude, are you kidding me?
Dude, I want to be able to tell people, oh yeah, I'm an Olympic athlete. What do you do? Swimming? Pole vault? Pokemon?
It's kind of epic though.
2028, Wolf Glick, and I don't know. He's gonna be an Olympian. That's what I'm predicting.
Dude,
he wins the gold.
That's a title right there.
Cool.
It's gonna happen, dude. Yeah, dude. It's been so great to get to know you today and talk about our topic and everything else. We kind of definitely deviated a little bit. Let people know what you got going on.
Yeah, so I am currently working on all kinds of content. Obviously, I brought back the Fakemon stuff. The Pokemon anime is in a very weird spot since Ash Ketchum, our Lord and Savior, has left us. That man was bringing the views, and he does not bring them now. So I pivoted the content back. Of course, I love Fakemon. I love Pokemon content. I love just Fakemon designs.
That's how I found your channel.
Which it seems like that's how a lot of people. Either you find me for the Pokemon anime or you find me for Fakemon. It's one of the two. And I love showcasing the regions. I obviously stopped for a bit because the anime started getting really hype. So, I'll be doing that. I'm actually in creation of my, I would also say final region. I don't think I'm making another one after the one I'm doing right now. For Pokemon Oralon. We're doing 6 starters, 2 professors. We're going crazy. I have a good idea for a gimmick. I'm super excited about that. And then obviously my previous region with Pokemon Calamity, we're turning that into like pretty much my own story of the anime. So we're bringing Ash in. I've got some like really cool artwork like that is anime inspired that brings in the the characters from that story plus Ash. With Ash being gone, I still would love to like kind of keep his story going, just like even on a fan level, and I think I can do that while mixing in my passion and love for Fakemon. So it kind of brings both my content together in a way.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does.
So I'm super excited about that, and then obviously everyone can check me out over on the Champions League podcast with the bros. Man, love those guys.
Oh yeah, we know those guys. We gotta do this again. Infamous, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we'll
see you.
Super fun, man. Glad I could finally come on and hang out and talk with you guys, man.
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time coming.
It's been really great actually having you on. We've only had like hybrids, so out of the crew. So it's good to.
John soon.
We're collecting
2 weeks, right?
Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh god. Funny enough, though, I don't know if can you see it? I have 2.
Do you have it back there?
I have 2.
Oh, it went out of focus.
I went out of focus. Yeah, I have both of them like right there. I have the Hulk one and I have the Thanos one too.
Bro, insane.
Nice.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe. Check out our merch. All of Infamous's links will be in the description. We'll see you soon. Bye. All right. Cool.
Anyway.